Fifth, we'll do the capital report, a COVID update, and then Friday funnies. I want to use the Southern words. And what else did I have? Oh, eating while driving. Which I sent you last night.
After this.
Get ready to fly. Up, up and away.
Up and away.
It's okay. The light in, it's okay. If you're not here, it's all right. Oh, when you come home, you can close it.
You want it open?
Yeah, I can see the sun.
Treated products are fundamental to the key processes in drinking water and wastewater treatment, and their high calcium limestone, quicklime, and hydrate products are used in the removal of acidic pollutants from power plant flue gases. Greer's products are also used in coal mines to treat acid mine drainage and as alkaline amendment. Learn more online at greerlime.com.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there There's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. Being in business for over 50 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at doanford.com.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
More live and local programming than anyone else in the Ohio Valley. The Watchdog returns in moments.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I am the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Friday. A mix of sun and clouds with a high near 47 degrees, overnight low of 31 under partly cloudy skies. A milder Saturday afternoon under plenty of sunshine. Temperatures are near 70 for the daytime high. Have a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I am the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
Live from the Robinson Auto Group studios, this is the Valley's longest-running morning show, the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe from WKKX and WVLY.
Well, it looks nice outside. I'm peeking out the window here at my home studios. The sun is up and it looks gorgeous out there, but it's only 21 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 18 degrees here at my home studios in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling, and 17 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. So a cold morning, you will definitely notice that you will want to be bundled up when you leave this morning. Now, going to get up to around 45 during the day and sunny most of the day. So it's not going to be a terrible day, but the morning definitely cold. You want to be prepared for that. But then we jump up into the 60s and even close to 70 come Sunday with some rain in the forecast. We have a lot to do in this hour of the show. And next hour, newspaper editor John McCabe will be joining me. Next hour, we'll have the Friday Funnies reviewing the local news of the week, including funding for the Wheeling Fire Headquarters, Ohio County Schools textbook controversy, and more. We're going to give away a few more tickets to the Jefferson Starship concert at the Capitol this weekend, so stand by for that. President Biden was heckled during his State of the Union speech right while he was talking about burn pits and the problems that burn pits could cause for veterans. And I have to be honest, I heard the story, I heard him talk about it, I don't know what that is. But I discovered that from the Ohio University Wexler Medical Center, Dr. Lauren Wold actually studies burn pits and their effects. And we're going to talk about that with him coming up a little bit later on this morning. Also, I've got some COVID news, just kind of catching up on COVID after a few days away from that. But we'll start off here at 8:12 in the morning on a Friday morning with a look at the Capitol report from Charleston. Budget talks are now underway in the State House, and the income tax reduction proposal has now been added back into the conversation. You'll recall over the last week or so, I've asked each of our various legislative guests, what's happened with that income tax thing? Because it got started with the governor, no, not the governor making the proposal, I'm sorry. The GOP-led, the Senate, I think it began with the proposing this income tax, and then it just kind of faded away. But now it's back again under consideration. And that's just part of what we have to talk about as we go under the Golden Dome in our Capitol report.
This is the Metro News Capitol Report, brought to you by AARP West Virginia. AARP is your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. Connect on social media at AARPWV or learn more at aarp.org/WV. Today's report in 60 seconds.
AARP is your ally for real possibilities in the Mountain State. A wise friend and fierce defender for everyone in West Virginia as you get older. With 250,000 members and communities in all 55 counties, AARP is working every day for you. We have financial tools and health guides to help make sure the good things in your life live as long as you do. We're working to protect your hard-earned money, sharing tips and tools to help you spot frauds and scams. At the same time, AARP is advocating on behalf of West Virginians 50 plus and their families at the state capitol. Every day we're supporting family caregivers, fighting for things like better high-speed internet access across the state. And we're sharing the latest coronavirus information to help keep you and your family safe. Everyone in the Mountain State needs someone in their corner. That someone is AARP. For more information, connect with us on social media at AARP West Virginia or find us online at aarp.org/WV.
Things get started bright and early at the State House this morning. An 8 o'clock public hearing in the House of Delegates on a bill dealing with natural gas drilling. The House's version of the state budget bill includes the assumption that the House-passed income tax cut bill will pass the entire legislature. But the Senate doesn't appear interested in the bill. But Berkeley County Delegate Jason Barrett says that's nothing the House needs to be worried about right now.
I have no idea the motive of the West Virginia State Senate. There are bills that they have of ours that they may or may not act on. We have bills of theirs that we may or may not act on. The only thing that we can do now is the budget that's in front of us based on the bills that
Let's go to a break.
This House.
Meanwhile,
Back with COVID.
foster care bill, Marissa Sanders, the executive director of West Virginia Foster Adoptive
from 3 till 6 at WVMetroNews.com and on this Metro News station.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy all types of real estate completely as is. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
For all of your IT needs, visit OmniPerforms.com. Omni Strategic Technologies, the only IT company that the Watchdog trusts.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it! Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure. I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben!
Yeah!
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
Dominating both AM and FM, the Watchdog is AM 1600 and 1370, FM 98.1 and 97.7. We are the Watchdog.
COVID-19 update.
And we haven't really updated the COVID situation for a few days, and there's good reason. It's because things are getting better and better. And I hate to even say those words because I'm so fearful that once I say things are getting better, somehow things will take a turn for the worse. But everything is looking much better. The CDC this week loosened up the mask suggestions that they have. In West Virginia, the DHHR reports another drop in active COVID-19 cases. 2,049 active cases of COVID in West Virginia yesterday. That's a decrease of about 100 from the day before. It is the lowest since July 28th of last year. So the number of COVID active cases is way down. 444 patients in the hospitals around West Virginia. 108 are in the ICU, 60 are on a vent, but those are all down from the day before, and it is the lowest level of hospitalizations in West Virginia since mid-August of last year. So we are definitely seeing a distinctive trend. 46 additional deaths from COVID yesterday, according to the DHHR. If you look at the DHHR's COVID map, virtually everything is green. There are 2 or 3, I don't have it in front of me, I don't know why, but I looked it up. There are 2 or 3 counties that are yellow, but basically everything is green. I mean, the county is completely green. When you consider that it hasn't been all that long ago, everything was red, we've made some great progress. So everything, almost all the counties are now in green. Ohio County's Health Department this week announced they're going to be closing the Highlands Vaccination Center. Howard Gamble says that there's just, the demand for an ongoing daily, 8 hours, 10 hours a day, whatever it was, center that people could just walk into is just not there. The number of people getting vaccinated now is diminishing as more and more people have been vaccinated. Vaccination is still being given by the Ohio County Health Department, but they'll be at their walk-in clinic. So they've closed down the Highlands Vaccination Clinic. And it looks like the health department may be beginning to get back to normal and start having to deal with, some of the normal things they did. Last couple of years, a lot of the traditional work of the health department has been put on hold while they've dealt with the pandemic. The National Guard is leaving WVU Medicine hospitals, at least here in the local area. They'll be leaving Wheeling Hospital and WVU Medicine's Reynolds facility as of March the 11th. National Guard came in, helped out, a lot of support they offered to the hospitals when the nursing staffing was short and the COVID patients were high. But folks at the hospitals say that as their COVID count goes down, the need for the National Guard to be there is not so great. So they'll be leaving the hospitals here locally on March the 11th. And the NFL and the Players Union have agreed to suspend all of the league-wide COVID protocols effective immediately. Now, a lot of those already been dropped previously, but now the NFL will no longer have mask requirements or surveillance testing, regardless of vaccination status. Now, teams still have to comply with any state or local laws that may be in effect, but as far as the NFL itself, they are kind of heading back to normal as well and removing some of the COVID concerns. So, Biff, hate to say the words out loud because as soon as I say it, things will turn around, but looks like we may be really, honestly and truly this time beginning to wind this whole thing down.
Signs are pointing that way.
Yeah, boy, that would be a very positive thing, I would think. All right, it's 8:23 after the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 21 degrees at the airport, 18 here at the home studio, 17 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Let's take a pause, have a little laugh or two here on what I like to call the Friday Funnies. Every Friday, try and take 4 or 5 minutes to kind of just give you a little bit of laughter and so on. One of the topics we actually talked about yesterday, the late night comics we're talking about last night, and that was this JetBlue pilot that was thrown off the plane because he was 4 times the legal limit for a pilot, 2 times the legal limit for even driving a car. It's just one of the jokes they were making last night on late night television.
The JetBlue pilot was removed from the cockpit of a plane in Buffalo because he was suspected of being drunk.
Yeah. After he blew into the breathalyzer, it didn't even say a number, it just said new high score. And you go,
A JetBlue pilot blew twice the legal limit after being removed from the cockpit of a plane. They were immediately suspicious since the flight was Delta.
IKEA announced that it's closing all 17 of its stores in Russia. IKEA said that they'll do whatever it can to throw a useless tiny wrench into Russia's economy.
Defense officials in Ukraine have warned that the Kremlin could be using deepfake videos to spread misinformation to Russians. Okay, I knew Putin didn't have an Iron Man suit.
Next year, HBO Max will begin streaming U.S. soccer matches. Of course, since it's HBO, every match will have full frontal nudity.
All right, some of the comics from last night, late night, around the television networks. 8:25 on the Watchdog Morning Show. I got a couple of stand-up comedy bits for you, kind of fun. We had talked this morning about eating second breakfast and all that kind of stuff. And then, was it Aaron who was talking about, Aaron Myler was talking about, you know, sometimes you turn the heater, not the heater, but the seat warmer on in your car and get yourself warm if it's cold outside. Well, let's combine those two. One of our comics today is taking a look at a unique idea, and I actually think this is an interesting idea. A unique idea about eating while driving.
I like to eat when I'm driving. Do you eat when you drive? Yeah. My wife got a new car and I'm not supposed to eat in it, but I do. Yeah, because she's got the heated seats and you can use those to warm up what you're going to eat. You ever try that? You take like a regular ham and cheese sandwich, sit on that for like 7 miles. Mwah! Try it and make sure you're wearing the corduroys. Get the little grooves in it. Make yourself a nice little panini sandwich on your way home from work, yeah?
You know, Biff, I see value in that. You know, sometimes you pick up order, and by the time you get it home, it's cold, right? Turn the seat warmers on. Put it on the seat, turn the seat warmers on. Just let it sort of sit there like it's sitting on the stove or something. That's actually not a bad idea. Well, you have to have seat warmers, I guess. Do you have seat warmers in your car, Biffy?
No.
Oh. I got seat warmers. So.
You kidding me?
Hey, you know, I remember thinking about how stupid seat warmers were, and my God, you've got to be kidding me. You know, it's just ridiculous. I'm going to tell you, the first time you sit in the car on a cold morning and turn that seat warmer on, and your butt just goes, ooh, yeah, I like this. Seat warmers have value. But I'm going to try. I've never thought about that. You bring food home, and a lot of times it's cold by the time it gets home. Put it on the seat warmer. Turn the seat warmer on. Keep it warm. Not a bad idea. 8:27 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. I have one more bit of stand-up comedy for you. And look, if you're a real Southerner, you probably get offended. Don't be offended. We're just joking. We're just joking. Jeff Foxworthy, you know, he is the, you know, you're a redneck if kind of guy, has a little bit here about Southern words.
I got a couple of new Southern words for you. First one, mayonnaise. Mayonnaise, a lot of people here tonight. Here's one you will hear in Tennessee. Which you did you? You didn't bring your truck with you, did you? And last but not least, innuendo. Hey, dude, I saw a bird fly in your window. And sometimes it's not a word. It can be like a little phrase. Like I was talking to my brother a couple of weeks ago, and there was a guy working on his refrigerator, and I asked my brother, I said, did they figure out what was wrong with it? My brother said, yeah. He said, the guy just told me the motor was burnt slap up. I said, now what's the difference between burned up and burnt slap up? And my brother said, I don't know, but I think burnt slap up's going to cost me more money.
Don't take offense if you're Southern, but those were pretty good Southern words. Man, there's a lot of people here tonight. Okay, maybe I have a strange sense of humor. I don't know. And that is our Friday Funnies, trying to give you a little moment or two on Friday to have some laughter before we head off into the weekend. Coming up in the next half hour, we're going to talk about burn pits. I do not know what they are. The president talked about them in his State of the Union speech and said that he was concerned that his son, Beau Biden, may have developed medical issues because of burn pits. I don't know what they are. I mean, I think of a burn pit as, the place out back on a cold winter's night where you can, burn some logs or something. But I think it's more than that. Talk about that. Dr. Lauren Bold from OSU's Wexler Medical Center actually has done research into burn pits. He's just got a new grant to do some more research into it. So it's just, I was curious. I heard that. I don't know enough about this. And when I don't know something, I try to bring some information to bear here on the show. So we'll get into that coming up in the next half hour of the program. I do want to remind you, our friends Jim Frio and Shane Stack have an online auction that is going to be underway. It is online only. You can find out info at frioandstack.com, frioandstack.com. It's a large consignment auction with collectibles and advertising and toys and all that kind of good stuff. If you collect coins, they've got Morgan dollars, 1878, 1879, 1884 Morgan dollars, 1922 peace dollar, a variety of half dollars, Franklin, Kennedy, Walking Liberty half dollars if you're a coin collector. For toys, they've got several Flintstones play sets. Flintstones, meet the Flintstones. They're the modern Stone Age family. A couple of play sets there by Marks, the Marks Toy Company, an Ohio Valley company once upon a time. Let's see. Some glassware, Northwood hand-painted carnival pitcher and glass set, collectible beer can, a collection, and some furniture too, an Adirondack-style bentwood rocking chair, a maple desk, and more. Listen, you want to find out more, check it out. The preview is Friday today, 3 to 7 p.m. Pickup, by the way, is Thursday, so if you buy something, you got to pick it up next Thursday up at the Frio and Stack auction house at the Highlands. But if you want to find out more, simply go online to frioandstack.com. You can click the Bid Now button and place your bid if you would like to. This is an online auction only. Very important to note that. The bidding will close on Monday. A little paid word there from our friends at Frio and Stack, couple of good guys. It's 8:32, 28 till the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. ABC covers the world for us, and Tony Caridi has our Morning Mountaineer Report. That's what we have to look forward to right now.
Now it's time for your local news headlines from 7 News at
If we have a game tonight, right? Okay. Just want to make sure.
is set to go at 8 o'clock. WVU has played well so far this season, 6-2 through their first 8. Sophomore right-handed pitcher Carlson Reed will get the start against the Golden Gophers. West Virginia has 2 other Big Ten teams that they'll be playing this weekend. Mountaineers will match up against Illinois tomorrow afternoon and then Michigan State on Sunday. Redshirt freshman Kaylee McCabe of the Mountaineer track and field team has been named West Virginia's Big 12 Outstanding Freshman. She has had a fantastic season, recently qualifying for the NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships in the 3,000 meter. She will compete against the nation's best coming up later this month in Birmingham, Alabama. She will enter that event ranked number 1 in the Big 12 and number 3 in the nation. That is today's Mountaineer Report. It's been brought to us by Kroger, the official grocer of WVU Athletics. I'm Tony Caridi on the Mountaineer Sports Network from Learfield.
We are compassionate.
We are focused.
We are confident.
We are dependable.
We are resilient.
We are skilled.
We are empathetic.
We are knowledgeable.
We are respectful.
We are here.
For you and your family.
We are close to home. We are
WVU Medicine.
A serious injury from an accident can be just the start of your worries. What if you cannot return to work? How do you take care of your family if you're disabled? At Gelner Law Offices, we represent seriously injured people and understand their problem. We know how to get you fair compensation. We will work hard to make sure you get the money you deserve for your losses. Don't go it alone. If you're hurt in an accident, call us at 304-242-2900 or visit us at gelnerlaw.com.
We'd like to help.
Introducing our new redesigned 7 News app. Our new app features a sleek, modern design, an easy-to-navigate home screen with quick access to local news content, and a localized weather forecast. Subscribing to notifications is easier, and with one tap, you have access to recent push notifications. There are more ways to watch and find video. To get the new WTRF 7 News app, just update the latest version or download the WTRF 7 News app in your Apple or Google Play Store by searching WTRF.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
Babies come with lots of decisions.
Cloth or disposable? Crib or bassinet?
So when it comes to protection, go with the safest, most effective choice, vaccination. Get all the recommended vaccines for your baby by age 2 to protect your child against 14 serious childhood diseases. For more reasons to vaccinate, talk to your child's doctor. Go to cdc.gov/vaccines or call 800-CDC-INFO. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Hey man, what can I get you?
Yeah, can I have 2 Coors Lights?
You got it. Hey Mike! I need 2 Coors Lights!
Sure thing.
With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go.
Thanks, Mike. Doing a great job. All right, 2 ice-cold Coors Lights.
That's the coldest beer I've ever had.
Hey, they don't call it the world's most refreshing beer for nothing.
Okay, be honest with me. Do you really have the Rocky Mountains in your beer cooler?
You don't believe it? Check it out.
Man, that's pretty amazing.
I know, right? I can't believe it myself sometimes. I mean, this cooler is only 3 feet wide.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
CA House Music has all the gear to make your music legendary. With all the best gear, including Fender, Epiphone, Yamaha, and more, CA House will have you rocking in no time. Get the most for your money with everyday low prices. And we meet or beat internet pricing. Play before you buy and let our product specialists help you pick out the instrument that's right for you. CA House Music, supporting local musicians since 1872. Play music for life.
You want sports talk? We got the goods all night long. Tune into Sports Map Radio, evenings and overnights on FM 98.1, AM 1600. We are the Watchdog.
He has his say. You can have yours. Text us or call us and join the conversation. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
A reminder, if you want to watch our video feeds, we have added a Twitter feed for you. Video is on Twitter. Go to the Watchdogs Twitter feed. That's at WatchdogWV. That's the Watchdogs Twitter page, at WatchdogWV. And the Twitter feed's right there on top of the page, so you can watch the live video from our studio, from, in my case, the home studio, and in most people's case, our live and local shows coming from our downtown studios. But you want to watch the video, easy way to do it is on Twitter. You can also go to the website, watchdognetwork.com, and the video is right there in the middle of the screen. You can watch our video feed there at watchdognetwork.com. And while you're on watchdognetwork.com, scroll clear down to the bottom, and we have a couple of links there. We've got a link to Twitter, a link to Facebook, and we have a link to YouTube. Click the YouTube link, and it will take you to our YouTube page, and you can then subscribe to our YouTube channel, and whenever any of us go up live with video, you'll be immediately notified. Also, you can watch all the archived shows on video on our YouTube channel. So, watch us on Twitter, watch us on watchdognetwork.com, watch us on YouTube, and subscribe to YouTube if you would like to. It's not getting any warmer, 21 degrees at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. It's actually warmed up a little bit here at my home studios. 21 at the airport, that's where it's been all morning. 21 at the home studios, and 21 at the Robinson Auto Group studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Up to around 45, our predicted high for the day today. So not a bad day, but we're going to double where we are right now to get up there. It is definitely a cold morning. And real quick before I get to my guests, a couple things coming up today here on the Watchdog I want to call your attention to. First of all, it is a Friday, which means filling in for Linda Fabio this afternoon, noon until 3, it is Dancing with Dr. G, the Donnie Gilbert radio show with Powerful Pierre. Bob Slider is in along with Donnie Gilbert today. Among the guests, Joe Runkle, who is running for re-election for Marshall County Circuit Court. Dave Burkle from the Guest House in Moundsville. I haven't been to the Guest House for a while. It's a good place, good food down there. And if you're around Biffy, you'll find out because he'll be feeding everybody at the studio today from the Guest House. Also giving away gift certificates to the Guest House if you can answer some of the trivia questions that Donnie and Bob pose. So check in with Dance with Dr. G, the Donnie Gilbert radio show with Bob Slider today from noon until 3. And very quickly, Biffy, we have basketball tonight, correct?
North Marion at Wheeling Central, 7 o'clock tonight.
All right, so you want to check on that. And Tony mentioned earlier the WVU games. We have a couple of WVU games for you. Men and women's basketball tomorrow at TCU. So that's what we've got going on. 8:44 here on the Watchdog Morning Show. President Biden, in his State of the Union speech earlier this week, and it's a part you may have paid attention to only because it's where he was interrupted by Lauren Boebert, rudely interrupted, I might say. But he was talking about burn pits and its connection to health issues for veterans. And I have to be brutally honest. I didn't quite understand what he was talking about. So I wanted to find out, and I discovered that at the Ohio University Wexner Medical Center, Dr. Lauren Wold actually looks into these things. And so he is here with us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Howard. Happy Friday.
Indeed. Tell me, I begin from ignorance, and I hate to be that way. I thought a burn pit was something that we, roasted marshmallows on out back on a cold winter night. But obviously, we're talking about something different here. What was the president talking about? What are these burn pits?
Yeah, you're right. That's what most people think of burn pits as backyard fires and sort of open air grilling, etc. But burn pits have been used in areas of war and areas of veteran deployment for disposal of waste, really all types of waste, plastic, shipping materials, electronic waste, etc. So everything that is used and consumed was or is burned, and the issue is that our veterans are living in very close proximity to the area that the burning has taken place. And so, we know that the burning releases noxious chemicals into the air, but we hadn't really begun studying the health effects of living so close to these burn pits until really 2014 or so.
And the effects can be serious. I know at the State of the Union speech, the president had the widow of actually a Columbus native, I think it was, who died of a cancer that they believe may have been caused by the fumes from the burn pits. Yes.
Yeah. So, and I'm blanking on the nurse's name, but she works here at Ohio State University with me, whose husband died of cancer that is attributed to exposure to burn pits. And we've known that various cancers have developed in veterans that served in areas where burn pits were used. And strikingly now, we're seeing many other health effects. My lab looks at cardiovascular disease and pulmonary diseases as two, very common health effects, but there's many others.
This is because of inhaling fumes. Is that the transmission issue here?
Yeah. So when the burn pits release these chemicals and basically particles, we call them particulate matter, into the air. And what that is anything that has a certain size to it. So when plastic is burned, for example, during combustion, a bunch of chemicals, actually thousands of chemicals, are released into the air. And these chemicals can actually, once a person breathes them in, they affect the lungs, of course, but they can enter the circulation and actually then affect the heart, the brain, other organ systems.
What exactly is a burn pit in the context we're talking about here? Again, I gather now that it gives these fumes off and stuff, but it's got to be something more than just a little, circle with some logs in it. I mean, is it some kind of a big piece of equipment, or is it just burning on the ground or something? Help describe it for me. What is a burn pit? From the perspective we're talking about.
Basically, a large pit is dug, and things such as old uniforms, plastic bottles, all food waste, all containers that food was shipped to these areas that they were kept in, all that is burned. Electronics, old equipment, old furniture, all of this is thrown into these massive burn pits, and the plume of smoke is just amazing. You can go on the internet and see some pictures of this, and what's amazing is we have, not us, but the government has monitors for particulate matter in these areas, and Wheeling, West Virginia has a level of 20 micrograms per cubic meter, and that's a decently high level. We're talking thousands of micrograms or grams in these burn pit areas.
This sounds awfully primitive to me. You dig a hole in the stuff in and burn it?
Yeah, it is quite primitive. I think they were started because a lot of these deployment areas are in areas where they're really not set up to properly dispose of waste, and they're in remote areas, and so I assume the thought was, well, we'll just burn the stuff that is not needed, and then we don't have to worry about burying it, etc. But it is quite primitive, and they're still used to this day.
Are there any kinds of regulations or is that what the president was talking about, looking into seeing if we need more regulations? I mean, it sounds like we're discovering, and maybe you specifically even are discovering, some serious health problems that develop because of this. Are these burn pits regulated in any way?
So in 2009, President Obama began to, so he tasked various federal agencies into looking at whether there was any science behind the burn pit effects on military veterans. And after that, the Veterans Administration partnered with the National Academy of Sciences Institute of Medicine, and they instituted or began a year-and-a-half study looking at the long-term health effects of the exposure of burn pits or of veterans to burn pit smoke, and this has led to the Airborne Hazards and Burn Pit Registry that was established in 2014. And what that does is it lists various health issues associated with burn pit exposure. Originally, it was just a few health problems that were listed, but now that's growing to include pulmonary disease, lung disease, heart disease. And what happens is then veterans who have served and come back and have cardiovascular disease or lung disease can now get treatment as part of their active duty service.
I don't want to suggest a direct correlation kind of thing, but this has echoes to me of Agent Orange. Something that was used, assumed to be okay, it had a positive purpose, and then we suddenly discovered that people are getting sick, and it turned out it wasn't so. Again, I'm not trying to draw a direct correlation there, but I hear echoes of that in the conversation we're having here.
Yeah, you said it. I totally agree with you. And, what we're now starting to discover, very similar to Agent Orange and other chemicals, is the prevalence of early onset neurodegenerative disease like Alzheimer's disease, Parkinson's disease, as well as cancer, as President Biden talked about. So it's a growing problem, and I think the problem is it's a newer thing. It's only been around since early 2000s, and so as our veterans age, we don't know what the long-term effects are.
What are you researching? I know that you have been doing research. I think that you recently got some money for an additional grant to do some more research. Are you just continuing to look at the connection between some of these diseases and burn pits, or where's your study taking you?
Yeah, so what we do, we use preclinical models, so animal models in mice, and we expose them to a simulated burn pit. So we concentrate ambient particulate matter. So every city has obviously, particulate matter in the air because of combustion of fossil fuels, cars, buses, etc. But everything else in the air, and we concentrate and expose animals to levels on par with what's seen in burn pits, and we look at the short and long-term effects at the heart level, lungs, as well as brain. And what we're trying to do is really categorize the time course of development of heart disease, lung disease, and potentially neurodegenerative disease, and then look at designing novel therapeutics to treat these, but also to see if they're reversible after, for example, a veteran would return from areas where burn pits are used.
I was watching the president's speech, and to be honest, I was distracted by Lauren Boebert yelling in the middle of this segment. So
yeah,
I didn't fully understand what exactly President Biden was calling for or suggesting. What is he asking for in that segment of his speech, or do you know?
Well, I think he was really calling to action. Folks, researchers, policymakers, and government officials to look further into this. And there's also what's called the presumptive list of health problems. As I I mentioned before, originally it was just a small list of issues associated with burn pits that were recognized. But now this registry has shown that there are things like heart disease, lung disease, cancer that are hopefully or will be added to this list of health issues that will be covered by the VA should a veteran develop these after returning from areas of deployment.
You know, a bigger picture issue that is just I'm thinking about as we talk about this is sort of how many issues fly under the radar that we, the general public at least, don't know about or think about. Maybe I'm not an average person, so maybe the listeners are all going, Howard, we understand this completely. But again, this is something I never really heard about, never thought about, never understood. And I bet it's not the only issue of this kind, particularly for veterans where there are medical problems developing, diseases, what have you, that we haven't quite figured out what the causes are, and they sort of fly under the radar.
Yeah, and I think one thing with burn pit exposure is not only are veterans being exposed to these terrible chemicals, but they're in a terribly stressful situation. And so trying to understand how stress compounds these issues is an area that, we hadn't really started to think about until we began the studies. And it could profoundly affect how we look at treating these issues.
I really appreciate you joining me this morning. You've helped a lot. I'm real serious. When I heard this, I was like, I don't understand this. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm at a complete loss, and I really appreciate you have really helped me get a much better grasp of this, and now a little concerned about it as well.
Yeah,
not just grasping it, but concerned about it.
Well, I appreciate you reaching out, and it's so important to understand what is happening and how we can effectively advocate for greater care for our veterans, because a lot of these veterans are going, or these soldiers are going to these areas being exposed. They're very young. They're usually pretty fit, and they're developing horrible diseases. It's very scary for someone their age.
It is bad enough to send our young people into harm's way, but it is necessary sometimes. But they shouldn't be facing these secondary side effects from things that maybe we can find a way to better control. Hey, I really appreciate your time this morning. I'm out of time, but thank you for joining us, and to keep me informed of where research goes, and we ought to know.
Great.
Being here today.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Bye.
Lauren Wold, a PhD at the Ohio State University Wexner Medical Center on burn pits. Again, the president talked about it this week. I didn't know what he was talking about. I thought a burn pit was that thing you put out back and roasted marshmallows or weenies on. I didn't know. Now I know. Now I don't like it. All right, next hour we'll do an update on the invasion in Ukraine, and we'll talk to John McCabe for our Friday roundtable. And I don't know what else. If you think we'll maybe do something else, we'll find something else to do too, huh?
I'm sure.
There's always something else to get into, and we'll do our best to get into it before 10 o'clock. It is 9 o'clock right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
All right, Biffy, I want to Ukraine update before I get to John. So we'll come out of the news and do a Ukrainian update. Then hopefully McCabe will be there. Thank you, sir.